I want to walk you through the steps of how easy it is to get somebody to owner finance you their property. Here we go. For most people, commercial real estate is difficult to get into because of the capital injection that it requires. If you buy $1 million building, you have to bring $250,000 as the down payment. The bank will finance the other 75%. But what I've discovered after I've learned how to get creative, and we've bought just over $12 million of real estate in the last 36 months, is finding ways to solve problems for the seller. Let's use an example of $1 million building. Most of the time when people are selling their property, they begin to spend their money in their head before they even receive the check at the closing table. What I discovered is that even though they're going to be receiving a check for, let's say, $500,000, they forgot about their silent partner, who is Uncle Sam, right? The government. They get a capital gains check. And so what I like to do, and this is how I word this, so bear with me here. I actually go around my brokers, and they don't mind because they're getting paid regardless, and it's coming from the seller anyway. But I go and sit down with the seller, and I kind of learn more about them, their business. I ask them questions. I pry more about what they're doing, what they're going to use the money for. What I'm trying to do is get out of them what they're going to do with the money and how Uncle Sam is going to get a cut of it. I want them to tell me about their capital gain problem once they, what they're going to do with the money. And so after I've discovered their pain point, which is going to be taxes when they sell me the building, I slow down for a second and I say, I got something that I want to offer you. I don't ask for anything. I'm not asking for anything. I want to offer something. Because if you ask for something, nobody's ever going to want to do anything for you when you ask it. If you offer somebody something, it's a totally different response. You're changing the dopamine hit in their brain, okay? So don't ask, offer. Say this, I want to offer you something. Well, okay, well, what do you mean? They're already immediately curious. And say, we're going to close this deal. I'm excited. I can't wait to do this deal. I'm looking forward to buying this building. Whatever the song and dance that you want to say. I'd like to offer you the opportunity to leave money in this deal because I see that you've got a capital gain problem, and the best way, because I'm in real estate every day, we buy buildings like this all the time. Most of these guys are owner users, so they're trying to, go drink Mai Tais at the beach. So I want to offer them the opportunity to leave money in the deal, which again, if on $1 million example, the bank's showing up with $750, I'm offering them essentially the ability to finance me the down payment. And what that means, if you look on the HUD statement, there's a first position mortgage from Community First Bank, and there is a second position mortgage, which is the seller. He's financing you the down payment, meaning you are bringing 25% equity to the deal in the bank's eyes, but on paper, you're showing up with $0, no money. So when you're sitting across from your seller, you just slow down and you say, I want to offer you something. I want to offer you this opportunity. You're not asking for anything. But at the end of the conversation, you slide over your one pager that shows if you do it this way, this is what you're walking away with. If you do it this way, this is what you're walking away with. We have this one pager. It's in our mastermind. You can sign up and get it yourself. But the main and most important piece is go consult with your CPA. I'm not an expert for your situation. You need to go consult with your individual accountant. Put it back on them and just say that you're not asking for anything. You're just offering an opportunity. And what they're going to do, they're already curious. They're going to call their accountant in like 30 minutes after that meeting ends. And their accountant's going to do the math. And what happens, it's happened to me like 3 times in the last 12 months where they call back and say, hey, Nolan, I know you were offering me $250,000 leaving this deal. Would you be opposed to letting me leave $350,000 in the deal? And I think for a second I said, let me go consult with my accountant. But of course, I already know the answer. It's less money that I have to borrow from the bank, and it's more capital I can borrow from the seller because it's a tax play for him. And now my cash on cash goes up because I'm borrowing at a lesser rate of interest from the seller than I am the bank. So what I'm getting at, guys, is that you can do deals that are $1 million buildings with no money. People are just closed-minded, or they just look on LoopNet or Crexy and they don't think it's possible. But if you understand the psychology of a seller and you try and find a way to create an oxytocin release in their brain, which is the bonding chemical, you cannot lose, and your seller is going to end up becoming your teammate. But you have to think outside of the box, and you have to think bigger than $35,000 houses that they're talking about on BiggerPockets.